So what does it feel to be the female?
Oh, I'm so flattered, thrilled. I was, very, very flattered. It's a great encouragement. So I'm really thrilled to be here.
Can you talk? Your family?
Did I call my family? I think I told them already. I don't remember. I think I told them already. Yes. Yeah. No, they were really excited. Yeah.
Can you talk about working again with Paul?
Oh, it was marvelous. He's such a beautiful artist to work with. He's such a collaborator and the biggest fan of women. So I just treasure working with him. He's done so much to break the boundaries and he's break all the conventions. And I just adore him.
What do you like better, doing comedy or drama?
I think drama, they're both so challenging in different ways, but for me comedy is still very challenging, so that's something I've enjoyed to explore, and I'm so lucky to work with the likes of Melissa and, Kristen and Maya and Russell Brand and Seth, and so I've been very blessed. I just try and not stuff it up too much.
Speaking of Seth, what's happening with Neighbors 2?
Yeah, so hopefully we'll be seeing us all again for a sequel. Yeah, that's the plan.
Have they given you a script or anything yet?
No, I can't say.
Is it difficult to go from these dramas to a movie like X-Men Apocalypse and First Class, which you already did, to work with all those effects?
It's good. Diversity is great. I think for any actor, it's such a pleasure to do something. I just did a very small film with Susan Sarandon, and then to go to do something like this, and I feel really privileged, to be part of such a huge film like that, especially with the fan base it has. They're so beloved, those comics. So bringing those characters to the screen is really important to the fans.
To follow up on that question, I want to end up repeating this question a little bit. But from a technique perspective, as an actress, how do you approach those different types of roles where you're working in an intimate environment versus a big budget, especially effects-heavy film?
Well, I just avoid the craft service table and the bigger budget movies because they're deadly. That's my first protocol. I think it's really the same process in terms of so personal how each actor works, but it's the same process. It's just you have a little more time sometimes on the bigger films, whereas the smaller films it's just push the time. There's a huge part of the different experience of doing it.
And you don't have to prepare anything different?
No, it's the same personal preparation absolutely for each role. Yes. Yeah.
Rose, now that you're the star of the year, can you go back to the first day you came to Hollywood? Do you remember that?
I can. Yeah, I remember driving around LA and really concentrating because we drive on the opposite side of the road in Australia where I grew up. So it was I was focusing a lot. Yeah, and when I got an agent and I didn't hear from her again. So it was a good rites of passage.
What were your expectations on
that? I think it was, at that age, I was pretty naive. I wasn't really sure what to expect. I was with friends at the time there, so it was a fun thing to go to LA, but it can be a tough town for a young actor as well, so yeah, I definitely did some lonely years there.
That is a gorgeous dress.
Thank you. Preen. Thank you.
Working with Melissa McCarthy, how was that working with her? With the comedy going back and forth, did you have to really calm her down? Because I know she's probably crazy.
She's just she's brilliant and spontaneous and unpredictable and so generous, and I often would ruin her take because my shoulder would be shaking from laughing so hard. She's just so beloved and creates such goodwill in audience, and you just want her to succeed, and it's just such a pleasure to see her in this role. She's never been funnier.
Did you have any trouble with the language?
Did I?
Yeah.
No. I'm Australian. Come on. I'm a convict.
And they keep making the point that this is not a spoof of spy films, that it's an actual spy film. How do you walk that fine line between going over the top spoof and being a spy film that's just fun?
Tonally, it was tricky, and it really was up to Paul Feig. He really set the tone of the film that was playing it straight, because if it was too late winking at the camera, then there's no stakes and there's no reason to watch it, and it's not funny, and so it never wanted to borderline on the absurd absurd because it just wouldn't have been as successful a film, I don't think, in terms of the tone. And yeah, so he really said it. It was really sort of, he really guided us through that because it was, definitely tricky, especially because it was action as well. So it was a mix of genres. But I saw the screening in South by Southwest, and it was just went through the roof. And that thing when you're laughing so hard you miss the next joke. That sort of experience. It was very exciting.
One last question, please. You're talking about ruining some takes because of Melissa. How do you get yourself back under control? Do you have a trick?
I just punch myself. It's hard. Or get someone else to do it. No, what do? I just pull it together. But if she starts laughing, it's okay. It's not like it's, I'm better than I was when we did Bridesmaids. I was just dreadful. It was like I was going to work and just having it for the jokes. It was terrible. So I've definitely gotten better since then.
Great.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.